059 144 1473 or by ePremium for micro insurance to safeguard your policies. Our call center team is ready to support you, so call us on 0202 222 113 for assistance or contact us via our digital channels. We care for your safety, so all our offices are implementing the COVID protocols. Please practice social distancing, keep safe, and trust Glycolife to cushion you for life.
Now, Surfline is expanding its coverage, so they're getting closer to you if you live in Adenta, Pantang, or Yarifa, Damfa, Amrehia, Uyibi, Ayimensa Park, Rehoboth, and any of the areas around there. Surfline has opened a new shop inside the Oyarifa Mall to help serve you better with simple, fast, and efficient customer care that saves you time. Remember, nothing works better than Surfline. They're right there at the Oyarifa Mall, open daily from 10 a.m. Surfline, better together. Right then, so is your house insured? Mamavi made a confession yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. I appreciated your honesty. Well, mine isn't. Well, my mother's house in Cape Coast isn't insured either. There was rain just a few weeks ago, and she lost a lot of valuables as a result of it. And it's just something that people ignore, but they shouldn't. Today, our guests, Alexander Osei Mensah is the General Manager of Operations at Hollard Insurance. He's here with Yvonne Dowona, who is the Head of Retail and Partnerships. Good morning to you both. Thanks for coming.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
And thank you for pronouncing my last name correctly. A lot of people don't get it correct.
Yes, I had a senior in Augusta school called Dowona.
I see.
Yes, he beat the correct pronunciation into me. So you have nothing to worry about.
I have benefited. Thank you to him. Good morning once again.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying. We all understand the importance of insurance. We know what it's for. But, I mean, when you interact with your customers, what's the reason they give you for putting it off, making it kind of the last and least important thing to do with their housing?
Okay, so if I may pick that, Kojo, so it's, I see it from two angles. First of all, it's not part of our financial planning. So we plan for a lot of things, but when you check the list, you don't see insurance on it. And then another recent phenomenon we have detected is people are somehow aware of other insurances, particularly motor insurance or car insurance, if you may call it. And it appears in their minds, they compare how much they pay for their cars and then ask themselves, if I'm paying this much for my car, I can't imagine how much I have to pay for my home or for my house. And probably that puts them off. But I'm sure at the end of the discussion, you'll get to know that once you have the ability to insure your car, probably you are 10 times or more times more than able to insure your home as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it's mandatory. It's by law that we must insure our cars at least. It's not the same for homes. But here's the thing I'm wondering about. If I insure my car, that means if there's any damage caused to my car, somebody else will foot the bill. If I insure my home, that means what?
So it's if I can pick that up. So it's virtually the same. If you insure your vehicle, it just means that you're passing on the risk to us. Same way, if you insure your home, you're passing on the risk to us. So where the policy would cover, let me just touch on just a little bit of, what the policy covers, for instance. So like you said, your mother's home was flooded. If your mother's house was insured, that damage resulting from flood would be covered under the policy. So what her damages are when it is put into money terms, that cost would come to the insurance company, and that is where we would step up to help your mother get back to where she was before. So that's essentially all it means. It just means that you're bringing your burden or your financial risk or your financial exposure to the insurance company. And if anything were to happen, we will come up and help you.
So what's the process? I mean, I've got a house, I've got contents in it. Do I just come along to you, fill a form, and then start paying? Or is there a need for some kind of assessment? What's the process? What do I need to go through in order to get insured?
So we keep it very simple. The process, like you said, we would engage you or you engage us. We have a conversation. We like to take a few details. So, your name, your address, where you live, how much your home is worth to you. If you're insuring your content as well, so contents is just a fancy term or a fancy insurance term to describe the things that are contained within the home. So your clothing, your shoes, your furniture, your artwork,
Electronic appliances,
those types of things. So if you want to insure those as well, then you tell us how much the value is. Usually, we would then put you on cover. We calculate the premium, and then you pay us, we insure you. Very simple process. At times, if where you live is flood prone, for instance, then we would want to do a survey. If the value of your home is above a certain threshold, then we would, engage you and do a survey. And the survey is done by a technical in-house team that specializes in only doing, surveys. So when they come out and they look at your property, they'll engage you. And if there are any recommendations, we give you a report and we help you along as well with those.
Am I insuring against theft, fire, flood? Do I have to be specific, or you figure all that out for me?
So we do all of that for you. Sure. So there are two policies. Let me just touch on the standard industry policy. So the standard industry policy we call the fire policy. It covers you for fire and allied perils. So allied perils would be, fire and smoke, flood, lightning, windstorm, theft, those types of things. So we cover that. For our home policy, so we have another policy, a Hollard home policy that adds a little bit more to the standard policy. So this is where you can get certain extensions, like if you use your home for business use, for instance, or you want accommodation, like if something were to happen to your home, we would pay you for staying somewhere else. So if you rent your home, we would pay you the rental income that you would have lost during that period. So there's an enhanced policy that gives you a few more benefits than what is standard on the market.
Okay.
But that we take you through both policies and we allow you to make a choice.
What if you're renting, Alexander? Should you insure?
Yes. So if you're renting, then it means you don't own the structure, the building, but you own the items that are in there, what we call the content. So you should insure those ones as well. And even in addition to the question as to what do we cover you for, the policies are designed in such a manner that it anticipates almost every foreseeable risk. And the only one that probably we don't pay for are the obvious ones, like arson, setting fire to your own property, or being so reckless that you damage your own stuff. Otherwise, almost every foreseeable risk, including malicious damage. I mean, people are doing their choboi somewhere, they pass by your house, they scratch, or they decide to smash your windows. Theft is covered, everything is covered. Thankfully for Ghana, we don't have what elsewhere they may call fundamental risk. So in some countries, you wouldn't get cover for flood. UK is an example. If you go to a country like Japan, you don't get cover for earthquake, because in those areas it's assumed alarming proportions to the extent that an individual insurance company cannot carry that risk. You go to countries like Mauritius, even in Africa, you may not get cover for tornado.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, we are blessed enough. We don't have any serious exposure that requires that insurance companies exclude them. So all the policies, whether it is designed to cover the building as a structure or the content for renters, are designed in such a way that it covers almost every anticipated risk.
Now, I understand that in the end, your premiums are going to be based on the value of what you're insuring.
Exactly, Kojo.
But can you give us some indicative ideas, like generally, how much would it cost to insure an average home?
So
Sure.
say you
There's
bought
any
a,
such
a
thing.
SETI realty property for 220,000 Ghana
Yes.
cedis,
That's
for
right.
instance.
For 220,000 Ghana cedis for the structure, you're not going to pay anything more than 450 Ghana cedis for a whole year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Less
That's
than
what it is.
500 cities for the year.
Yes.
And your
Oh.
And that is
property
almost
insured.
close to how much you pay for your third-party
Third
motor
party.
insurance.
Mm.
That's why initially I was saying that probably the reason why people don't put it on their need list is the fact that, you know, the way we struggle to put up a house in our part of the world. I mean, even when you're going for a mortgage,
Yeah.
before you get it, you have gone through so much stress. So you ask yourself, well, if someone says, if there is a fire tomorrow, I'm going to get exactly what I have lost, I can't imagine how much I will pay. So for a building worth about 100,000 cities, you are looking at anything between 200 cities to 250 cities in a year.
And if I don't make any claims consistently,
Yes.
do you give me part of that money?
Not really.
In fact,
What
I
we
like
do-
that question, Mama. In fact, the way I ask it, let me ask it the way I like to.
Thank you, Kojo.
So I'm paying insurance
Yes.
in case something happens.
Yes.
Right. If nothing happens, shouldn't I get my money back?
You get rewarded for probably not putting in a claim. So, for instance, there are two people who insured their buildings 10 years ago. One has been making frequent claims. The other doesn't make a claim. The one who makes frequent claims may be paying higher than the one who doesn't make frequent claims. As to the return of the money, absolutely. That is not possible. And sometimes you also revert the question by asking, you pay 200 cedis for your building worth 100,000. A day after the 200 cedis, if the building is razed down by fire, we need to cough up 99,980 cedis or something. Will it be fair if we called you to come and top up to that amount? Probably no. So insurance is about numbers. I mean, it sits in our African culture, our communal nature, our welfare nature. We believe that disaster may strike, but when it strikes, not everybody will be affected. But it behoves all of us to support those who are being affected. So people who don't make claims are actually the reason why we are able to pay claims to the few who make it. So I would say in a particular year, you support others to get over their disasters. In some years, it is possible that it may happen to you as well. I had insured my home for over 13 years. I never had any incident. Unfortunately, last year, December, some people in my area decided to burgle me.
Oh.
Though I had always known the importance of insurance, I think at that point, it dawned on me that, look, sometimes you don't even know when it will come. And most often they come in a time when you are not well prepared
True.
to bring the staff back.
True.
Yes.
I can imagine that if it's a mortgage facility, then automatically there'll be insurance on it. But do people continue to pay the premium even after they're done paying for the mortgage?
Yes. Those who automatically continue to pay are those who, in one way or the other, may have benefited from the claim during the mortgage period.
Okay.
Then they've had the experience. A good number of them who we engage to know the essence of the insurance also stay with it. About 10 years ago, there was a woman who took, it wasn't necessarily a well-arranged mortgage. She took a loan but used her house as collateral. And like the banks would do, they got a house insured. And it appeared it was even on the blind side of the customer. Then one day after a windstorm, the roof of the building was off. While she was at home crying, the bank just put a call to us. We went around and we told her that, look, your house is insured. In the next few weeks, the place was re-roofed. And she was pleasantly surprised. For such a person, no one needs to convince him or her about insurance. And usually when it comes to mortgage, I ask this question. Look at the financial muscles of the mortgagees, those who lend out the money. They are solid. how or why would they require you to protect their financial interest further? And then you yourself, who probably your house or your home may have been built with your lifetime investment, you want to leave yourself exposed. That's what. Why would the bank want to be protected and I would want to leave myself exposed? So even after you've paid off the mortgage, it still makes sense that you continue to insure, especially given that the rate that I've given here actually confirm the fact that it is not something that can hit your budget so much.
Yeah. Well, this is a conversation to be continued at the Accra International Conference Center, Wednesday, 27th of October to the 31st of October, as the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. So we don't want to give all out here. We want to meet, in person and continue this conversation more of a clinic form. So I would like to say thank you to you for coming by. Maybe some final words that you want to share?
Oh, thank you too for having us. We look forward to see everyone at the upcoming fair, so that we can continue this conversation, because like we've all noted here, buying home insurance to protect your home is very important, and it doesn't cost as much as we think it does, but the benefits are huge. So we should definitely continue to have the conversation.
For a 2-bedroom apartment,
Yes.
how much will I need?
What's the cost of the
how
house?
much does it cost?
Thank you,
What is the
Mamavi.
value?
Yes.
Yes, now guessing. Yes, insurance.
Once,
Yes.
once we know the value of the
have
property,
you have to give the value of the property. So we
Who
use
does that?
the Sethi brothers, the cost of the units, the 220,000 for the 2 or 3 bedroom, and you're paying just about less than 500 Ghana cedis a
Yes.
year
You're
on
actually
it.
paying less
and even
than
the good
400.
news is, so for instance,
700,000
No.
No, so this is 220,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
a year.
As in, no. So this is the value of the property. But you're paying, now she says less than 400 Ghana cedis
Yeah.
on it as premium yearly.
sure.
Yeah.
And even the good news is, Mamavi, you may not necessarily need to insure up to the 220,000
Yes.
Okay.
for the value of the property, because remember, the value of the property includes the plot, the land.
Okay.
I mean, if something happens and the land is not there, probably Hollard will not be there to pay your claim as well. So in insuring, you look at the reconstruction cost.
Oh.
So probably you may just have to insure around 180,000, which even further brings down your less than 400 Ghana cedis premium.
Okay.
And to make it convenient, Hollard, for instance, we are in more than 45 outlets in the country. Any of our sales executives, any insurance broker. And leaving aside that, we have a portal, a WhatsApp number,
Yeah.
which you call Araba. You just say hi to Araba, and Araba can assist you to onboard without
Okay.
speaking to anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, we'll continue this conversation at the Accra
Sure.
International Conference Center. We've given you lots of reasons to not miss the fair. 27th to the 30th is the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. We still have a lot more to talk about here on the Super Morning Show. Thanks, Yvonne. Thanks, Alexander.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.